Well, hello and welcome to my fellow Idahoans. My name is Jim Thomas. I am the producer of this show, and tonight I will be the host. Listen up. We got a special show for you. Boy, this is especially important, not only to Idahoans, but especially Canyon County folks. We're going to be talking about Lake Lowell. Lake Lowell. My super expert guest today, I am very honored and pleased to have Daryl Ford. Daryl, welcome to my fellow Idahoans.
Thank you, thank you.
Now, Daryl, where do you live?
We live in Sunny Slope in the south end of Caldwell.
South end of Caldwell, Sunny Slope, and what, you're sort of off of 55, is
Off
it?
Highway 55, yes.
And so how far from your place down to, what is it, Murphy?
Marsing.
Marsing.
We're about 4 miles from Marsing and about 2 blocks from Houston.
And you've lived there with your wonderful bride for how long? How many years?
About 26 years.
26 years. And are you in a little town, or are you just out in the...
We're out in the boonies, in the orchards, on a hill.
Oh, very good.
A bench, as it's called.
Do you have a farm?
Just a residence with a few animals and a big garden.
A few animals. What kind of animals?
I have a couple of horses and 3 cats.
Oh, do you? Horses? No dogs.
No dogs.
No dogs. Horses and cats. And a couple acres.
Yeah.
On a hill. Excellent.
With
Excellent.
a view.
With a view. And you've lived there for 26 some odd years.
Yes.
And then you worked in the Treasure Valley here, or you work what?
Well, I've worked with a defense contractor, quality thermistor, and also with Hewlett Packard for a lot of my professional.
Excellent. And engineer or accountant
No,
or what?
I'm a quality assurance specialist.
Ah. Well, very good. That's paperwork, isn't it?
Yes. Yes.
Well, I worked with Westinghouse for 20 some odd years, the nuclear engineering part, and anytime people talked about QA, it had to do with auditing paperwork,
Auditing, right.
signatures and so forth.
Being audited or auditing.
Yeah, both. Well, anyway, so, all right, so as a longtime resident of that area, how far away are you from Lake Lowell?
We're approximately 4 miles.
4 miles. Well, there's an issue at Lake Lowell that most people may or may not be aware of in our viewing audience, and that is the federal government. The federales have talked about, or they're conjuring up a plan to significantly reduce the recreational use of Lake Lowell, that is boating and whatever.
Yes.
So we'll get into that, but for the benefit of our viewing audience, let's kind of give them well, we made a little movie using, and I don't mind mentioning Google Maps. We'll give you a little tour of Lake Lowell and how Lake Lowell gets its water. It is a man-made reservoir. It's not a natural lake at all. And so we'll show a little video here for our audience that shows you how Lake Lowell gets its water. So let's roll that. What do you say, Daryl?
That sounds like a good idea, a good start.
All right, ready?
Well, hello. We'll take you on a little tour and show you the relationship between the Boise River and Lake Lowell. As you can see, Lake Lowell is out here. It's sort of southwest, I guess, of Nampa and Caldwell. There's 84 coming through Meridian area here, and then Boise. And then 84 heads on down to Mountain Home. Well, the Boise River, as you know, originates up here at Lucky Peak Dam. And there's a canal that was dug in the early 1900s that runs from a diversion dam, which we'll give you a little close-up here in a second. But basically, it raises the water level in the Boise River, so that water will indeed flow downhill through this canal called the New York Canal, and it wanders basically around and down through Kuna, and then finally ends up feeding Lake Lowell. Lake Lowell has some dams, the straight chunks here. It was sort of a low point in Canyon County, And the farmers figured this would be a good place to go ahead and move a whole bunch of dirt so that this lake would be sort of a 16-foot deep reservoir. So it's all man-made, and it's for irrigation of farmland in the Treasure Valley. Well, let's take a look at that New York Canal. We'll follow it from, if I don't get lost, which I have done a couple of times, we'll follow it from Lucky Peak through Boise, Kuna, and then up to Lake Lowell. So we'll start zooming in a little bit and see if we can follow the water. So there's Lucky Peak again, and the Boise River takes off, and right here is the diversion dam, and the canal starts here, and we'll zoom in, make the canal a little bit bigger. He's thinking about the zoom, and the canal, come on, let's zoom in, there we go. And so here goes the canal, that's through along paralleling Amity Road, and there's Boise Avenue. There's Federal Way, it goes under Federal Way. And then you can see it sneaks up near 84 and wanders along the edge of the bench, second bench. And then it cuts through Hillcrest Country Club Golf Course, back under 84, takes a meandering path down around, goes under Cole Road, and as you can see, it wanders on down around. Let's see, where are we now? This is Maple Grove, and then there's 5 Mile, and Cloverdale Road is here. The canal is all the way down, goes south, and then it comes this way. There's another canal branches off, but this is the New York Canal, and it continues to meander around through Kuna. There's Kuna, and then it heads up back up north, and wanders around. There's Black Cat Road, and crosses Locust, comes down a little bit. There's Happy Valley Road, and then back south. So it really kind of meanders around, doesn't it? And then finally, guess what? It winds up feeding Lake Lowell. So there's Lake Lowell. Now down below, let's see, 2 kilometers, 2 miles. So Lake Lowell is probably about 5 miles or so long. You can see a lot of it is just was left to Mother Nature. There's just a lot of green growth, and then there's a little bit of development has gone. You can see the dams. Anytime the shoreline is straight, that's usually a dam. There's a little dam there. So we'll buzz in on this a little bit more. And drag this guy into our field of view. There we go. Now there is a visitor center right in this area. There's a boat ramp, some docks. Let's zoom in a little bit more. And look at this guy situated right here. I want to go in even further. We went out to Lake Lowell last weekend, and on Saturday, midday, and this federal government Deer Flat National Wildlife Refuge was closed. That was kind of a surprise. I thought it'd be open. And what's that? A boat? I think so. There's the dam. There's the boat ramps, parking lot. And I think if we follow the edge going west, you can see just a lot of natural habitat for waterfowl, etc. And we just follow the edge of Lake Lowell, and we come around to a nice beach area. And let's see, what else do we have of interest? Just more natural wildlife kind of area. Oh, here we go. Here's a really nice park and a parking lot, and there's boat ramp again. Another boat ramps here. So this is just a little bit of everything. It's a reservoir for the farmers, for our economy in the Treasure Valley, and it's also a place where we humans can recreate. How nice! With that, I'll end the tour.
Now we're back. I hope you enjoyed our little aerial tour, which showed. Isn't it interesting? I mean, it just fascinates me that in the early 1900s, that the people that lived around here had the wherewithal to put that dam in, the diversion dam,
Right.
and that water. I mean, that canal. You'd think they would just draw a straight line from that dam over to Lake Lowell and build a canal.
It seems like a lot more work to me.
However, you've got to follow kind of the contour,
Right.
so that you have a nice gradual slope downhill from the diversion dam to Lake Lowell. And so, yeah, it meanders around all over the place. And I guess, what canal water is available to just about every citizen, every household.
Well, it's for agriculture, and not every household, but as far as that water is for agriculture, and those are the people, the farmers that paid for having that lake there.
Oh, they paid for it? It wasn't some big federal grant or something?
Well, if it was repaid by the farmers. The farmers are the ones that paid for the lake, is my understanding.
So right now we have people that use that water for two purposes, right? The irrigation and then recreation.
Recreation.
And
right.
recreation, we're talking about boating, water skiing, power boats. I mean,
Yes.
serious boats,
Right.
as well as what? Can you take
Fishing.
Fish. Oh, there you go. So you have the fishing community. So there's fish in a man-made lake.
Yes.
Did they stock it?
It has been. I know there's bass in there. They have bass
Bass?
fishing tournaments there.
I'll be darned.
So,
How interesting. And then I think we saw that as the canal leaves the lake, I think we saw some people fishing along the
Right.
canal.
right,
So the water that's going out to irrigate has fish in it.
right. It does.
I wonder where the fish finally end up if they don't get caught.
Snake River, I guess.
Oh, well, how do they get there? Oh, never mind.
It all runs downhill.
Runs downhill. All right. Well, all right. So moving right along, the federal government now, for some reason, has decided that what do they want to do exactly?
Well, they told us that they found out a few years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, that they had the rights and had control of the surface use of the lake. So they're into a big spending mode now, and they can jump in there and have more money to spend on by trying to be more active on the lake. And how better when you're active in something like that is not to have anybody bother you.